And well, a top story, U.S. President Donald Trump has said that he can meet with Vladimir Putin very soon, adding he believes his Russian counterpart genuinely wants to stop fighting in Ukraine. Trump's comments came even as his Secretary of State played down expectations of upcoming high-level talks in the Saudi Arabian capital.
Marco Rubio is set to lead a high-level American delegation at the discussions with Russian officials in Riyadh in the coming days. And Trump said that his team has been speaking long and hard with Russian officials, including his West Asia envoy, Steve Witkoff, whom the president said met with Putin for about 3 hours recently. Asked whether he believes Putin wants to seize the entirety of Ukraine, Trump said, and that was his question to Putin as well.
Your meeting with Putin in Saudi Arabia?
No, no time set, but it could be very soon.
Like this month?
Well, it'll be soon. We'll see what happens.
Do you think he wants the whole of Ukraine, or just what do you think he wants?
No, I think he wants to stop. That was my question to him, because if he's going to go on, that would have been a big problem for us, and that would have caused me a big problem because you just can't let that happen. I think he wants to end it, and they want to end it fast. Both of them, and Zelensky wants to end it too.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio played down expectations of any breakthrough at upcoming talks. Rubio stressed it would not be easy to resolve such a long-running, bloody and complex conflict, adding that a process towards peace is not a one-meeting thing. While it remains unclear whether there will be any Ukrainian participation, Rubio said he wasn't even sure who Moscow was sending.
So the next few weeks and days will determine whether it's serious or not. Ultimately, one phone call does not make peace. One phone call does not solve a war as complex as this one. But I can tell you that Donald Trump is the only leader in the world that could potentially begin that process. Other leaders have tried. They have not been able to do so.
Trump's West Asia envoy, Steve Witkoff, has confirmed that he and National Security Advisor of the U.S., Michael Waltz, will attend the talks. Now, Witkoff suggested that Ukraine is involved in the negotiations, noting that U.S. President Trump spoke with Ukrainian President Zelensky last week.
Before we get to Israel and Hamas, let me get your take on your plans in Saudi Arabia. Are you expecting to leave for Saudi tonight? And what specifically are you hoping to accomplish?
Well, I don't want to talk too much about that specifically, Maria, but I am going tonight. I'll be traveling there with the National Security Advisor, and we'll be having meetings at the direction of the president, and hopefully we'll make some really good progress with regard to Russia, Ukraine.
Is there anything you can say about some of your allies alarmed by the fact that Ukraine is not part of the talks?
Well, I think Ukraine is part of the talks. The president had their president, Zelensky, on the phone this past week.
Well, meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky arrived in the United Arab Emirates with First Lady Olena Zelenska for an official visit. A Ukrainian delegation is in Saudi Arabia to pave the way for a possible visit by Zelensky. Zelensky has said that he believes Russia is preparing to wage war against a weakened NATO should Trump dilute U.S. support for the alliance.
Trump and Putin held a lengthy phone call last Wednesday in which they agreed to start ceasefire negotiations immediately. Now, the call blindsided NATO allies as well as Kiev, with Zelensky insisting there should be no decisions about Ukraine without Ukraine.
Meanwhile, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has said that he was ready to send troops to Ukraine if it was needed to ensure the security of Britain and Europe.
Starmer has written in the Daily Telegraph that the UK was ready and willing to contribute to security guarantees to Ukraine by putting troops on the ground if necessary. Starmer also confirmed he would join a top-level meeting to be held in Paris on Monday to address growing concerns over US efforts to end the war in Ukraine.